In this video, we're going to review writing equations for parallel and perpendicular lines. First, let's talk about parallel lines. So we know that in parallel lines, the slope is the same. So we need to write an equation for a line parallel to this line, y equals 2 fifths x plus 1, that passes through the point -5, 0. And the easiest way to do this is by using point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. And we're going to set this up with parentheses, leave a gap for the slope here, and then we're going to plug in our points. Since we're writing an equation for a parallel line, our slope is going to remain the same. That goes here. Our y1 value is 0, and our x1 value is -5. Simplify this. Y minus 0 is just y equals 2 fifths times x minus -5 is x plus 5. And then next we need to distribute. So 2 fifths times x, that is 2 fifths x, and then 2 fifths times 5 is 2. And so here is our equation that is parallel to the line y equals 2 fifths x plus 1 and passes through the point -5, 0, and it is y equals 2 fifths x plus 2. In our next example here, we want to write the equation of a line parallel to the line y equals x minus 5 and passes through the point 4, 3. So let's set up our point slope form. Y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. We'll plug in our slope is the invisible coefficient of 1 here in front of x. Our y1 value is 3 and our x1 value is 4. So we simplify this. This becomes y minus 3 and 1 times anything equals itself. So basically y minus 3 equals x minus 4. And then to put this in slope intercept, all we need to do is add 3 to both sides, and we get the equation y equals x minus 1. So this is the equation of the line parallel to the line y equals x minus 5 that runs through the point 4, 3. All right, write an equation parallel to the line y equals -4 x minus 3 that passes through the point 2, -4. All right, y minus y1 equals our slope times x minus x1. Our slope is -4. Our y1 value is -3, and our x1 value is 2. So y minus -3 becomes y plus 3 equals -4 times x minus 2. So next we're going to distribute. So -4 times x is -4x, and -4 times -2 is +8. And then finally, we need to subtract 3 from both sides. Y equals -4x plus 5. Next example, write the equation of a line parallel to y equals -2/3 x plus 5 that passes through the point 3, 1. So y minus y1 equals our slope times x minus x1. Plug in our points. So we have our slope is -2/3, y1 is 1, and x1 is 3. So we have here y minus 1 equals -2/3 times x minus 3. We distribute. -2/3 times x is -2/3 x, and -2/3 times -3 is +2. Then we just need to add 1 to both sides. We get y equals -2/3 x plus 3. Now let's take a look at some examples of writing equations for perpendicular lines. The difference being that when you write the equation of a perpendicular line, the slope is going to be the opposite reciprocal, which means here, if we see the slope is -2/3, that means the slope of our new line, our perpendicular line, will be positive 3 over 2 because you take the reciprocal and you change the sign. The rest is the same. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off by writing our point slope form. So y minus y1 equals our slope times x minus x1. We plug in our information. So here the slope is negative 2/3. So our slope for our perpendicular line is going to be the opposite reciprocal of this. So the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3 over 2. And the opposite of negative is positive. So this is going to be a positive 3 over 2. Our y1 value is negative 3. And our x1 value is negative 2. And we simplify. So y minus negative 3 becomes y plus 3 equals 3 over 2 times x minus negative 2 becomes x plus 2. Now we distribute. 3 over 2 times x is 3 over 2x. And 3 over 2 times 2 is 3. And then finally, we just have to subtract 3 from both sides. So we get y equals 3 over 2x, and 3 minus 3 is 0. So you could put plus 0, but you don't really need to. You could just leave the equation as y equals 3 over 2x. And that is the equation of the line perpendicular to the line y equals negative 2/3 x minus 5 that passes through the point negative 2 comma negative 3. Now we need to write the equation of a line perpendicular to the line y equals 3x plus 2 that passes through the point negative 3 comma negative 4. So we're going to go ahead and write our point slope form. Y minus y1 equals our slope times x minus x1. The slope of this line is a positive 3. So the opposite reciprocal of positive 3 is going to be negative 1/3. You take the reciprocal and you change the sign. Our y1 value is negative 4 and our x1 value is negative 3. We simplify. Y minus negative 4 becomes y plus 4, and x minus negative 3 becomes x plus 3. Now we distribute. Negative 1/3 times x is negative 1/3 x, and negative 1/3 times 3 is negative 1. And then finally, we subtract 4 from both sides. And our equation is y equals negative 1/3 x minus 5. All right, our last two examples here. Write the equation perpendicular to the line y equals negative 3 over 2x plus 4. That passes through the point 3 comma 4. So we set this up. Y minus y1 equals our slope times x minus x1. The perpendicular slope to negative 3 over 2 is going to be positive 2/3. Reciprocal, change the sign. So positive 2/3. Y1 is 4. X1 is 3. Simplify. Y minus 4 equals 2/3 times x minus 3. We're going to distribute. 2/3 times x is 2/3 x, and 2/3 times negative 3 is going to be negative 2. Next, we just need to add 4 to both sides. We get the equation y equals 2/3 x plus 2. Last example, write the equation perpendicular to the line y equals negative x plus 4 that passes to the point negative 3 comma negative 1. So y minus y1 equals our slope times x minus x1. So here, this negative x, this is a negative 1x, so the slope is negative 1. Well, the reciprocal of 1 is 1, and so we're just changing the sign. So this goes from being a negative 1 to a positive 1, and our y1 value is negative 1, and our x1 value is negative 3. So y minus negative 1 becomes y plus 1, and 1 times anything is that thing, right? So we don't even need to write the 1 anymore. X minus negative 3 is x plus 3. And then finally, we just subtract 1 from both sides. And our equation is y equals x plus 2. All right, I hope that this video helped you to understand how to write equations for parallel and perpendicular lines.